Morning guys! I hope everyone is well. We are now on Thursday and we're basically 5 weeks out from my competition. I do think we're in quite a good place. I will put in, or I would have put in the check-in video already. Have got to work on the posing still, but I have had my first posing lesson, so I've got another one tomorrow, and then we will have as many as possible basically before my competition. The calories have been lowered, so they are low now. We are on like 1,200 and something calories. Protein's actually been lowered a little bit just because I do tend to get digestive issues, not issues, but I definitely feel like my digestion starts to slow down a little bit as we get closer to competition and calories start to lower, which I think is very normal, you know. I have less food that I'm taking on, so less is kind of getting through my body. But the energy expenditure, pretty similar. The only change with cardio is on my rest day off weights, I now have 60 minutes cardio on Stairmaster instead of 45 minutes. All the other days we have 30 minutes, so I normally do that after my weight session in the morning. Again, that's fasted. Steps still at 15k a day, and at the moment, touch wood, I feel quite good. Like, I feel energy is probably the best it's been at this point in prep. I don't feel bloated, again, touch wood. And I just feel like in a good position considering we're 5 weeks out. I think we've got a couple more kg that we want to kind of lose. My coach wants us to be ready 2 weeks before the show, so then we can just ease into the show, which will be a really nice way to go about it. So fingers crossed the next couple of weeks will go really smoothly. I've just finished client call and I'm going to head into town to do I think I've got it's either a hamstring or a quad session today, and then I've got 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, and I will get in some steps as I always do, and then we will come back and we have all the usual work, client, editing, filming, movement stuff to do, and then I'll have the rest of the steps and things to do later. So that is the kind of plan of action. I may do a run or I'll do a handstand session at home, one or the other. And I'm gonna get a bit of a move on because when I have client calls first thing in the morning, it means that I can't get to the gym earlier, well, as early as I do if I don't have them. So I do feel a little bit hungry. But honestly, I haven't felt that hungry this prep. I do think it's down to the food choices that I've made this time, which I can go a little bit more into later in the video. But as always, I'm keeping things fairly similar, so it's basically just chicken, rice, salmon, veg, a little bit of olive oil. That's basically my diet. But as I've mentioned before, I do vary up the veg, which is nice, and then coffee. Black coffee is what we're kind of down to at the moment. Squeeze in oat milk, flat white, if I still have some fats as well. I always have a double espresso first thing, and then I have another coffee, normally mid-morning or something, or after I've trained, and that will be either black or an oat milk flat white. So we're gonna get a move on now, and I will see you guys when I'm back from the gym. Today I had a hamstring and glute focused leg session. So I started off with cable kickbacks, which I didn't film, and then into the abductor machine, which again I didn't film. Then I moved on to laying hamstring curl, this exercise, which I did 4 sets of, really focusing on the tempo of the exercise as I always do, and making sure I'm driving the quads into the pad and really getting a nice hamstring contraction. After that, I moved on to barbell hip thrusts. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this exercise. It's not an exercise I ever used to do. I don't know why, because it's actually a really effective exercise for building glutes. But I sometimes find it quite difficult, especially if you have to use it bench rather than having the glute drive, which I'm currently using, to set up and get the right angle. In my gym, I'm very fortunate that we have the glute drive. Anyway, I did 3 sets at 120 kg. Did start to feel quite heavy towards the end of the 3rd set. But again, I'm really focusing on the glute squeeze at the top of the movement and also contracting the hamstrings in this exercise. I always find, if you can't feel the hamstrings and glutes engaging, then go lighter or do a little bit more activation than before you move into the glute drive. After that, I moved on to barbell RDLs. So as you can see, nice and controlled with the tempo as I'm lowering down on the eccentric part of the movement. And then as I drive up, I'm driving up with the chest, squeezing the glutes and really getting, again, a nice contraction in the hamstrings. I didn't go any heavier than 70 kg today, just because I really wanted to focus on the tempo of the exercise. Then I moved on to hyperextensions. I really enjoy this exercise. I don't know why, I've always kind of enjoyed doing hyperextensions. I think where you don't just get the glutes and the hamstrings, you also get the lower back. I'm fairly strong at it. It's not actually part of my program, but I did think, because, you know, it's posterior chain, that I would throw it into the program today. And after this exercise, I moved on to my last exercise, which was calf raises. I really like the standing calf raise machine that we have at my gym. And I actually find I'm getting a really good contraction in this exercise at the moment, so quite pleased with how calf definition is coming along. I never ever used to really train calves. I mean, you train them in a lot of exercises that you do, and, you know, if you're doing a lot of running and walking and things, but I didn't used to put them into my plan, and now they are in my plan. I'm kind of enjoying doing this exercise. After my leg session, I moved on to my 30 minutes of fasted Stairmaster, and then I had a little stretch at the end of the session. We've just got back from what I feel like was a very good session this morning. So I trained glutes and hamstrings, and then I obviously did my 30 minutes in the Stairmaster, as I do every single day, and I got my steps. So I've still got probably about another 8,000 steps to do today, but I try and get half of them at least done first thing in the morning, just because then later on in the day it's not too much of an issue if I only have the other half to do. Very, very busy day today, so I'm gonna do some movement now, and then I'll have my first meal, which is my usual chicken rice chicken rice tomatoes. I've actually got a posing lesson at 12, then I've got 2 client calls, then I'm going to do some editing. Then I will try and do a bit of meditation if I get time, and then I'm going to get in the rest of my steps or go on a run. I haven't quite decided what one it will be, and that will probably take us through to about 6, and then in the I'll have another meal at some point, another 2 meals. So yeah, that is the plan of action for today. I did also pick up some more extra virgin olive oil, because sadly I ran out of my favourite one. That, yeah, it was just amazing. Anyway, I've ordered more of that one, but in the meantime I think it's the Odyssea, it's called. It's the Great Taste Awards, so I've never had this one before. As you guys know, or as I mentioned in maybe my last video or the video before, I don't cook my food in olive oil, I just drizzle it on top, so I get all the kind of nutritional benefits from it. So this is organic Greek extra virgin olive oil from Crete. So hopefully that will be quite nice. So I've just put my chicken in the air fryer, we've got the rice on the go, we've got the tomatoes that I need to chop up, and I've just put my laundry out. And I am very, very excited. Honestly, for the next 5 weeks, I do feel like we're in probably the best place that we've ever been in terms of prep. I feel I have so much energy at the moment. Long may that continue. And obviously we've got the posing, which is the only kind of thing I'm kind of like, I really need to nail this as much as possible. But as I said, I've got a posing lesson in about an hour's time, which should be good, and I am focusing on trying to practice all the time. But I need to kind of know the next steps and transitions with it. So there's only so much I can do at this point in time, otherwise I'll just make it up and it won't be very good. So yeah, we have got to prioritise that the next 5 weeks. And then after that, I have got all my travel plans sorted. So it's gonna be an amazing couple of months until Christmas. Basically, I have the show on the 15th of September, Sunday the 15th of September, and it's gonna be a very, very busy weekend that weekend, because I have to go up either 2 or 3 times to where the show location is to get tanning, although I may try and do the base coat of tan here, just because otherwise I have to go 3 days on the trot. The athlete check-in is on, I think, the Friday, and then the tanning is going to be on the Saturday for the base coat, but I think I'm just going to do my base coat here, and then my competition is on Sunday, and you can get the top coat there as well. So I think that's the plan of action for that weekend. Obviously then we'll be competing, I'll get my hair and makeup done there. I'm not going to do any of that myself, because I'm just not good at it. Where I never do it, I'm not good at it. For one show a year, it's definitely worth getting it done professionally. I'm gonna get the stage photographer to do the backstage and show day pictures as well, which will be fun. I've also got a photo shoot the week before my competition, so it'll be good while I'm hopefully in, you know, the best shape to do that photo shoot. 2 days after competition, I will pretty much be going straight to Asia. So I fly from London Heathrow to Bali. I think it's on the 17th or the 18th of September. Then I will be in Bali for 5 weeks, or I think it's around about 5 weeks, until the 25th of October. And then from the 25th of October to the 21st of December, I will be in Phuket. And really, my main priority is high rocks. So I can't even tell you how excited I am to enter this new type of training. Like, I've been loving, obviously, this bodybuilding prep, and you guys know how much I love bodybuilding. But I think in my heart of hearts, like, I am just so excited to transition to high rocks and give kind of that kind of training my all, because I can't do both at the same time. That was the reason, you know, the last couple of weeks I've decided I need to focus solely on bodybuilding at the moment. But as soon as we've done this competition, give it my all the next 5 weeks, and then we will go straight into high rocks. Gym I normally train at in Bali, I know they have a lot of different high rocks classes, and I know a couple of people who've been going to them and saying, you know, they're really, really good. So I kind of want to get into that community. And then in Phuket, where I normally train, it's pretty much perfect setup for high rocks as well. So yeah, I'm gonna really push that as much as possible, however long, as long as I enjoy it, which I think I will. And then at the same time, my main priority when I go to Asia will also be creating something beyond, something spectacular. And I have very much some ideas in my mind, and I think this year is the year, hopefully they're going to be coming together. Anyway, that is the very exciting times. My chicken is almost cooked, which is amazing. The other very exciting things is I have been looking at gimbals. I will hopefully order one. I've been meaning to get one for such a long time. They are quite pricey though. They're quite expensive, but I think it would definitely be worth the investment, especially when I'm in Asia. So I want to make sure that I get that beforehand. So I think that will just be a little bit better with my filming and not being so static, especially if I'm, you know, filming the gym or filming any kind of movement things. Día que me falte tu piel, ¿qué será? ¿Qué será de mí? No seas parte de mi amanecer, ¿qué será? Just gone 3 p.m. and it's been very busy. I literally haven't stopped. Had the posing lesson. I will insert some probably little clips. It went very, very well. She said for the second kind of posing lesson, transitions and things are looking good. That's kind of what we're working on today. I've got a lot of editing still to do. I did manage to edit one video earlier, and then I had 2 client calls after my posing, so I've literally just finished those. But I need to have my next meal, so I'm gonna have chicken and green beans. No rice in this meal, because I saved the rice for my last meal. So I'm gonna have a whole pack of green beans. And then the chicken breast, which is normally about 125 grams of chicken, some chili sauce, and no, it's not the most interesting, but I actually do enjoy it because I really like green beans. I'm in a green bean phase at the moment. You know, I went through this new potato phase. No longer on that phase, although I may have to go back to it because calories are low and you get more volume for your calories with potatoes than you do with rice. Anyway, at the moment we're still on the rice because it's digesting really, really well. I'm gonna have this meal, so I'm gonna cook it and finish the editing, or try and edit another video. And then we will head out to do more steps. If you can see me, the light's reflecting. That's better, I think. We are on 11,000 steps at the moment, so I've actually not got that many left to get in, and I'm sure I will go with my step count, which is absolutely fine. I do have a probiotic. And I just find it really helps with my digestion at the moment. So I've actually gone through phases where I have digestive enzymes, and at the moment I have one of these. Don't know, it feels like it helps though. There we go, that is the reality of prep. We have 200 grams of green beans and 125 grams of chicken, which has been done in the air fryer. The green beans have been steamed. I know it's not the most interesting, but unfortunately, you know, when you are on prep, you have to dig. You have to eat green beans and chicken. And to be honest, I would probably eat them anyway, so just probably with some rice as well. And maybe more chicken. But it's fine, it is what it is. And we have water. Just got back from a walk, got all my steps in for the day. I've got my salmon in the air fryer, I've got tender steamed broccoli cooking. I'm gonna have that with rice and a little drizzle of oil to finish with my fats for the day. And this evening, I'm basically just gonna probably edit this video to do some cleaning. Very exciting. And I will try and do a little bit of reading and meditation before I go to sleep. So that is pretty much most of my days at the moment. Very similar stretch. I always, you know, do training and things in the morning, go on a walk or run in the afternoon, do some movement stuff, some filming, some editing, have a couple of client calls, and then cook, eat, sleep, repeat. Yeah, we've just got to really crack down on this posing. So I'm excited for the next 5 weeks to see where we get to. On how the next week or so goes, we may do like a practice refeed, which will be good. And I will keep you guys posted if we do that, because it might be a little bit more interesting with food. At the moment I'm, as you see, having like chicken, rice, veg, or salmon, rice, veg, or just chicken and veg. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed that kind of full day with me. And I will see you all very soon. Thank you all for your support and your kind comments as always, and have a lovely start to the weekend. Bye guys!